This video will show you how to issue LGAP certificates of conformity using the AniMark Conformance System. There's two ways in which you can issue a certificate. The first way is through the review process and workflow. The second way is outside of the audit and review process, and it's important to know how to do both in case you need to issue a certificate outside of an audit. Firstly, to issue a certificate during the audit and review process, select the audit that you're doing the review on and hit Edit Audit Order. It will open up the review workflow, and for the purposes of this example, I'm just going to skip through the preparation, checklist and findings and hit the certification button to come up with the certification workflow. So for here, if we're doing an initial audit review or a recertification audit review, this is where we'll be reissuing a new certificate. Alternatively, if the scope of certification has increased or decreased, you can also issue a new certificate here as well. To update the certification status, we need to update the review result. To do so, we need the head row of the LGAP service, and we need to select the result or the status that we want to apply. Let's pop in certified, and that updates everything below it. Certified on date is the date that you've made that decision, and the valid until date, especially important because that will pull through onto the certificate. It needs to be 3 years from the date the certification decision was made. So we'll pop in 3 years. And that will update the dates all below. You can add a comment here if you like, but it's not necessary. Hit save, and that will save the status onto the profile. Next is to go into certificates. So we can see we've got one here issued already. So what I'll do is I'll just deactivate it to show you a fresh one. Okay, so you come in and you add a new certificate using the plus sign button. You can select the template, which will pre-select the services. You can also select the audit order that you've made the certification decision on. The rest will all pre-populate and you don't need to click anything else really. The certified on date is today and valid until 3 years from now. Then hit save and close. It will then create the certificate in the system for you. You can preview that highlighted certificate to make sure it's merged okay. So if you click preview, it will open up a PDF which you can then review for accuracy as you like. Once you're happy with the certificate details, you can then accept and assign the certificate number. Pressing the assign button makes it available in the Auditees portal for use. It also assigns a certificate number and the QR code, so it's very important to finish it. So that's how you issue a certificate using the workflow. How to do it outside of the workflow is that you can locate, say for example, a review has been completed, but someone wanted to update, or there was an error on the certificate and you needed to reissue it for some reason, say for example a typo. You could click on the entity on the review that was finished and open the entity. You can then navigate to the certificates tab. And for example, if this is a certificate that was issued that had the typo on it or needed to be changed for some reason, you could come into here and disable that certificate. That then deletes it from the system. It doesn't delete it, it just sort of hides it from everyone. So next is then the same process of issuing that new certificate. Just checking that the dates, you shouldn't have to change it if it's a reissue, but just double check it just in case. And then once you're happy with that, you can select, you can also preview it again to make sure all the dates and the details are right. So it should have a name, an address, a certification number, the activity, livestock, standards, status. Certificate ID number gets allocated after you hit assign. The relevant dates, QR code won't be generated yet, and then the scope. So once you're happy, then you can hit the tick sign and it activates that new certificate ready in the system for them. If you need to update any dates or details, you can also do it using the Certifications tab here. It's really important though, if you do change certificates outside of the audits, that you make comments within the comment section so we know what's happened.